Hey YouTube, we're back with a, you guessed it, another YouTube video. And today I'm going to say another one of my original poems. And I'm going to give you some commentary on it after I'm done. Okay, so this poem is called Unrealistic Love. I realize I romanticize love and that my thoughts on loving a flawed being are not realistic. And it is sad in a literary sense, but it keeps me oddly optimistic. And that is what keeps me going. I could be addicted to the highs of love, unrealistic love, but love still the same. And my high expectations of love is what keeps me single and breaks my heart. I think, why can't they just be like God? He's a perfect man for me. Rich, thoughtful, righteous, and everything in between. No man measured up and none came close. And I would cry oftentimes with tears filled with the coat. I was cloaked in failure of what I love most. Yet no one cared because that's the way love goes. But see, I'm a believer of the impossible, because I see things no one else can see. It keeps me oddly amused in this sad reality. I like to create my own world because it is better than their scene or scene they are projecting to me. I will have my piece of the pie, even if I have to spy on what is unseen to the natural eye. And so that is it. So these are my thoughts on unrealistic love. I actually had some comments on my last video basically saying that I was asking for too much, which I figured, people would say that. But I don't feel like I'm asking too much. And I don't feel like any woman who wants to be loved and romanticized is asking for too much. If you think about it, we're supposed to mate for life. And, every day shouldn't be some mundane type of regular day. Like, we should have special times other than holidays. And so I still don't think I'm asking for too much. Now, probably in the beginning of the relationship, that may be too much. But between our lifetimes, if we live to be 100 or 200 or whatever, like, that's not too much. Like, you got all this time to make that list come true for me. You know what I mean? So it don't have to be like the first day or something like that. But I mean, I need you to chip away at it. You know what I mean? And so I don't feel like I was asking for too much. But unrealistic love has broken my heart several times because I expected people to be different than who they were. And so because I didn't see them for who they were at first, because, you get that charm when you meet them. And so you kind of like, really like in love and really liking them a lot. And then the real them shows, and then you like, yeah, no, I gotta go. I can't do it. And so that's what I realized, that, maybe it wasn't everybody else. Maybe, I played a part in some of my bad relationships. And that was because of my unrealistic thoughts about love or relationships and things like that. Because I had to realize that people are flawed beings. Like, none of us is perfect. And so the things that may have transpired in their life, even if they didn't tell me, it still happened. And they could be making decisions from old situations that happened in their life, even though I'm a new person that they're dating. And so I just had to realize and sit back and even think about myself, of how I was making certain decisions based on old relationships. And, so you really can't tell people how to heal themselves. You really can't tell people to continue to do the work on themselves. That's something they have to start for themselves. They have to start that self-love journey. They have to start that basically seeing how I'm the problem in a relationship. A lot of people think it's always someone else. But I mean, if you've had so many experiences and they all ended badly, and then the other people are in another relationship and they're doing fine, you have to look at yourself and see, where you could be better and do better. So this is a journey where I'm deciding to take my self-love back and love myself first, because I can never really love someone else until I really love myself first. And a lot of people say they love themselves. A lot of people say they love themselves. But like, if you're doing things to constantly tear your body down, to constantly tear the brain down, that's not self-love. And that's not self-care. And so when you start to kind of take away the addictions, take away the bondage and things like that, and you're just left with yourself, no friends, no family, it's just you, then you begin to figure out, okay, so how do I do this and how do I do that? How do I rebuild? How do I rebuild myself? How do I rebuild my image and things like that? And so it's never a bad thing to self-isolate. Some people say you shouldn't, but if you're trying to find yourself, I think for a short time you should, because when you're around certain people, they may be okay with your behavior, and then you never really get an honest review of who you are or how you've been acting. And so you actually need to hear other people's opinion of you, other than people who love you, so that you can actually get an honest opinion about who you are and your behaviors. Because when you're actually like in a mental crisis, you can't tell you're the problem. It's just like it's everybody else, but you can't tell. So that's just a little nugget of truth. So we're gonna talk about art, because this is a art channel, and I'm finally finished with, hold on, I'm doing a lot of moving. I finally finished with this painting. And so this painting basically is called 19 Angels. And what it's about is basically, because these are the angels, but they don't look like the angels that we see on TV. And so basically the painting was about, would you still let an angel help you even if it didn't look like how you thought they should look? And so that was really, to me, it was really something I wanted to touch on, because the biblical angels in the Bible didn't look like the angels that we see on TV. And so, a lot of times when they came to people in the Bible, they were scared, because they like, what is this? And so it's like, when God speaks to you, when he brings somebody to you that's not normal looking, will you say, stay away from me, or will you want to hear what God has to say? And so I'm not telling anybody to let weird people come around now. I'm just painting you a picture of what I was thinking about. So I'm not telling you to, talk to strange people and, stuff like that. I'm just saying, if this was back in a biblical time, would you be scared and say, get away from me, when an angel presents itself? Or would you be like, yes, what did God say? Or yes, what did God want? And so I actually have so basically I'm going to tell you about what it is. So this is like a portal in the desert. This is a portal in the desert. And then, oh my God, hold on. This is the portal in the desert, and then this is the sun, and it has like a hole in it, so that's kind of like a coronal mass ejection. So it actually sends power when the sun has the holes in there. And then this is like a power storm of like red clouds. So then somebody has opened a portal in the desert using Mercury, and then all of the angels come in. And so I just I like this because I kind of made a story with it, and it was kind of nice to me, like, to kind of just let go and go into fantasy land and stuff like that. So sometimes I do paint fantasy. It may not be the fantasy y'all used to, but I like to just kind of step out the box and do some different things. And so this will be going with my angel series. So my other angel series, I'll show you those on my next video, but they look more like, I don't want to say traditional angels, but they had the wings and stuff like that. So I'll show you that on my next video. I'm working on a sketch right now. And so I will be back doing parallel lines, and I'll probably be doing some lives when I'm painting on parallel lines. So I will see you then. Thank you for listening, and I will see you later on the Christian's Corner.